I've never played any instrument and I don't know music. Can I play the handpan? There are many handpans with different names. What are the differences? What is the best scale for beginners? Should I buy a cheap handpan to start? Hi, I'm Loris Lombardo, musician, teacher and handpan maker. And in this video, I will answer these and other important questions that I'm often asked. I've never played any instrument and I don't know music. Can I play the handpan? The answer is absolutely yes. 9 out of 10 people who buy a handpan are generally not musicians and have never played anything. The great potential of this instrument is that it is not necessary to have a backing track to be able to play it and enjoy the richness of this sound. This does not mean that it is not an instrument to be studied. In fact, it is possible both to play it instinctively and to undertake a course of study. Once you understand the touch, it is very easy to release the sound. Any note we play on the handpan will always be pleasing to the ear. It is impossible to make a mistake. There are only the right notes. There are many handpans with different names. What are the differences? Not all handpans are the same, but each recreates a sound world that is a different sensation. Each oval you see on the instrument represents a note. All these notes create a musical scale, so each scale transmits different sensations for the listener. For example, creating a melancholy atmosphere in the case of the minor scale, or a cheerful atmosphere in the case of the major one. The scales of the handpans and the atmospheres they create are, in a sense, like colors. There are those who prefer a warm color, such as red, yellow, or orange. And there are those who like a colder color, like blue or purple. They are all beautiful, but each of us has our favorite. What is the best scale for beginners? There is no best scale to start playing the handpan, but there is a scale that each of us prefers. My advice is to listen to different models and choose the scale that strikes you most. But I can tell you which scale is most requested from me by those who start playing this instrument. It is the D minor scale, to which I dedicated a video on this topic. It is therefore the scale that I too advise to get started. I'll leave a link to the video in the description. Another scale that I particularly love and is in great demand within Lombardo handpan is the one in B minor with 13 notes. I'll leave a link for the video of this also in the description. Should I buy a cheap handpan to get started? I understand well what you may think. To begin, I'll buy a handpan that is cheap, but, and I tell you as a musician who's bought so many musical instruments of various kinds in his life, this reasoning with the handpan is risky, because the sound between a low-quality handpan and one done well changes drastically. The richness of harmonies changes, the sustain, the timbre, etc. So buying a low-medium quality instrument, you risk not experiencing that magical sensation that has made you fall in love with the handpan. Therefore, to be disappointed, to abandon your passion even before discovering it, and all in all, also to throw money away. If I buy a handpan with more than 9 notes, is it more difficult for me to start? Generally, you start playing the handpan with a 9 note. That is 8 notes plus the ding, the central note. But it is your choice. You can also start with an instrument with more notes, and as you require the skills, you'll also play the additional notes, which can be on the top or bottom of the instrument. So of course, you can start very well with a 13, 14, 16 or more note handpan. The same thing happens for a child who goes to piano lessons. He will not start with a small piano with fewer notes, but he will start with a real piano, and slowly he will be able to use more notes on the instrument. What is the difference between a handpan tuned at 440 Hz or 432 Hz? What does it mean and which is better? Once we have decided the scale in which we want our handpan, we have to choose the frequency. But what does that mean? Frequency is the number of sound wave oscillations per second, and this is measured in Hertz. So which frequency to choose? It depends on what use you are purchasing the instrument for. Generally, 432 Hz is used by people who use it in the holistic field, yoga, meditation and well-being, as this frequency is attributed to psychophysical benefits. While 440 Hz is used by those who want to use it in a more musical context, playing with other musicians, etc. But even in this frequency, it will always be possible to use it in the field of meditation, yoga, in the holistic field, etc. In the description, you'll find a link to a video in which I have compared two frequencies of the same scale, so that you can hear the differences. Which metal do I use for my handpan? To date, in the handpan world, there are mainly two metals: stainless steel and nitrided iron. There are many categories and processes of these materials which determine their sound. The two metals differ from the timbre and from the sustain of each note, that is, from the duration. For those who like very long sound for each note and most crystalline harmonics, the stainless steel instrument is the one for them. You will find in the description a link to a video where handpans in the two different materials are played, so you'll be able to listen to the differences and choose the one you prefer. Lombardo handpans in stainless steel require more work in the construction and tuning phase, as steel responds very differently to iron, and for this reason, it is important to use different tuning techniques, which are the result of a long search by us for the best sound performance. Do handpans get out of tune over time? Handpans, like all musical instruments, must be tuned, but unlike many other instruments, the handpan can only be tuned by a manufacturer. The level of tuning of the instrument, stable even over time, determines its quality from brand to brand. The tuning is carried out by the manufacturer using special hammers and special electroacoustic machinery. To keep an instrument in tune, it is necessary to play it in the appropriate way, meaning delicately with the hands, and not to subject it to too aggressive heat sources. The tuning of our Lombardo handpans are guaranteed over the years. How long will I have to wait to receive the instrument I have chosen? Delivery times depend on the instrument you buy and who you buy it from. As for the Lombardo handpan, we have instruments ready for delivery and instruments that require a few months of waiting. All the instruments are, however, made and tuned by hand with great passion and attention to detail. How can I be sure I've made the right choice for the first handpan? The handpan is an instrument that has a very penetrating and deep sound, and the feeling that a person feels is very personal. For someone, the sound inspires meditation, peace, and serenity. For another, it can be an inspiration of joy, passion, and life. And then to another, it can inspire a pleasant nostalgia and sweet melancholy. In my opinion, it is right to trust your emotions. If when you listen to it, even just from a video, it excites you so much that you want it, then it is the instrument that has pulled your strings. And now it's your turn to start on this new adventure. These were the most frequently asked questions that are asked to me by those who are about to approach the handpan for the first time. But if you have other questions related to your choice, write them below in the comments. I invite you to visit our website, www.lombardohandpan.com, to discover all our handpans and subscribe to the YouTube channel so as not to miss new videos. Until next time, ciao!